happy Wednesday. So, Wellness Wednesday and Happy New Year. Happy 2024. I can't believe that it's already here. So, as a fitness trainer, I've been in this industry for around 16 years. And one of the things that I see a lot, especially during New Year, but anytime I have somebody come into the gym who is new to working out, or they haven't worked with a trainer, or they're not really, they've just kind of been doing their own thing, they don't like fully understand working out and like what are the benefits of different styles of training. And so like, what is body fat? So we're going to talk about what it is. How can I get rid of it? Do I really need it? Did you know that you would die without some? So what is body fat? It is simply a source of energy. And so our body has two sources of energy, a third thing that we can use for energy, but we don't want to use it, but our body will do it if we have to. So the first one is body fat. And what it is, so body fat is our long sustaining energy. It is what is keeping everything functioning on the inside of you, because you need energy for all of those things, even your heart to beat. You need energy for everything in your body, for all the things it is doing when you're sleeping or when you're just chilling, or all the things you don't think about that are on autopilot. You're using body fat to keep yourself alive, right? But you're not using a lot. So like when you're chilling on the couch, when you're sleeping, when you're walking, like you are burning through body fat, but we're not burning through a lot. And so what happens is that people consume too much food and our body's like, okay, let's store this for later because we don't need it right now. Like we're consuming more than we're burning through. So we're going to take this and store it for later, right? So that's how we get body fat. And so what it is our long sustaining energy, but it's not very powerful, but it's the Energizer Bunny. It's going to keep on going and going and going. So we definitely need it, even to just stay alive and just to do life, right? So, body fats are long sustaining energy. Carbs are our power fuel. That is the energy that you're going to use when you're doing things like sprints or lifting heavy weights, or if you were to jump off the couch or do anything like that, you would burn through that carb source of energy. So it's our power energy. It's very powerful. It's very strong, but it's short-lived. It's a little gas tank. So like body fat's a big old gas tank, okay? It could go on and on and on forever, right? Carbs are power energy, but they run out really quick. For most people, 30 seconds to a minute. Everybody's a little bit different, but 30 seconds to a minute, that little gas tank is empty, okay? And so the other source that our body can use for energy, but we don't want to use it for energy, is protein. So our body can actually turn protein into energy and use it for energy. We want to save protein for tissue repair, for building muscles, for repairing our skin, for cell regeneration. We need protein for that. So what we want to figure out is, where are we burning the most body fat at one time, right? So right now I'm burning through body fat, right? I'm chilling. My heart rate is, I don't know, it's not turned on right now, but it's not very high, right? So I'm just relaxing. I'm doing this little video. I'm burning through body fat for my body to just function, okay? For me to talk and all of that. But as my heart rate were elevating, let's say that I was getting on the treadmill and I was going to do a little bit of a walk, my heart rate would start elevating. So I'm currently like taking a little teaspoon, and burning it up and using it. And then when I start walking, I'm probably going through a little more like a tablespoon. I start burning more. So as my heart rate starts to elevate, I start burning through more of my body fat. At some point, I'm going to be burning through the most that I can at one time. So what we want to do is figure out what that heart rate zone is for you to burn the most body fat at once. And that is what the secret is. So as your heart rate starts to elevate, at some point you get to a point where you're burning through a lot of body fat. Okay. But then as your heart rate continues to elevate, you start to burn, you're going to slowly get into that carb source of energy, right? So we talked about that in the beginning, right? It's our powerful energy. So the harder your heart is beating and pumping and having to work, eventually it hits what we call an anaerobic threshold. And that's where you start to burn through your carb source of energy. Okay. But remember, it's powerful. You need it because your heart's pumping hard. Okay, now we're on an incline and we're walking real fast, so our heart's starting to work a little bit harder. And so we're burning through more, right? And so we get to that point where we're no longer burning through our body fat energy. That's what we want to get rid of, right? Now we're burning through that carb source of energy, okay? It is short-lived. So if we stay in this heart rate zone for too long, where our body is going to tell itself to take that protein, and so when our heart rate is elevated too high, if we stay high, if we don't stop and take a break or lower the heart rate or go a little slower or whatever, like when we stay too high, our body is going to take protein and turn it into energy to use, because it can do this very quickly, one, and it needs it fast. This gas tank is empty. Oh my gosh, I'm running on E, like I need something. And so it's going to take that protein and is going to turn it into energy and use it. And so this is why if you look at a sprinter versus a marathon runner, so a marathon runner, they typically, if they do this all the time, they look really frail, right? A sprinter, they look powerful and strong. And that is because a marathon runner stays in that elevated zone. They're past that anaerobic threshold. They're staying up there. And so they're burning through all that protein fuel. So when it comes time for their body to repair and build muscle, we don't have enough of that fuel. And so that's why that's why you're going to see the difference, where the sprinter does not stay in that elevated zone. And that's why they can still look strong. So I recommend you get with somebody who knows what they're doing to help you figure out what is your anaerobic threshold, one. Two, where are you burning? Everybody's different, but we can get a really good estimate. Like, where are you burning the most fat efficiently, right? So where is our body working really well and we're burning through a lot of body fat? So you don't have to go to the gym and just kill yourself in running. Like, that's actually not what you want to do. So there is a lot of benefit to doing things like interval training, where you get your heart rate really high and then it comes down and it's up and down. Like, this is going to train your heart and get your heart very strong. So there's a lot of benefit to that. And actually, as you're elevating, so we're burning through a little body fat, and then as your heart rate elevates, you start burning a lot, and then eventually you're burning like the most that you can at one time. But then when we get to that anaerobic threshold, as our heart rate gets higher, we start to burn through that carb fuel. So if you're doing interval training like sprints or something like that, you will get that up there, you'll stay there, but you're not staying there so long that you're burning through that protein fuel, and then you're coming back down. So figuring out your fat burn zone based on heart rate, that's the secret. So I recommend you get with somebody who knows what they're doing to help you figure out what is your anaerobic threshold, one. Two, where are you burning? Everybody's different, but we can get a really good estimate. Like, where are you burning the most fat efficiently, right? So where is our body working really well and we're burning through a lot of body fat? So you don't have to go to the gym and just kill yourself in running. Like, that's actually not what you want to do. So there is a lot of benefit to doing things like interval training, where you get your heart rate really high and then it comes down and it's up and down. Like, this is going to train your heart and get your heart very strong. So there's a lot of benefit to that. And actually, as you're elevating, so we're burning through a little body fat, and then as your heart rate elevates, you start burning a lot, and then eventually you're burning like the most that you can at one time. But then when we get to that anaerobic threshold, as our heart rate gets higher, we start to burn through that carb fuel. So if you're doing interval training like sprints or something like that, you will get that up there, you'll stay there, but you're not staying there so long that you're burning through that protein fuel, and then you're coming back down. So figuring out your fat burn zone based on heart rate, that's the secret.